Tiffany Henyard's leadership in the South Suburbs. FBI has launched an investigation into controversial Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Dane Placco has been following allegations of her misspending and joins us now with an update. Dane.
Yeah, we've been reporting for nearly 2 years on allegations of corruption surrounding Henyard.
The ongoing scandal involving Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, has garnered significant public attention, especially with the FBI now involved in investigating her alleged misconduct. At the center of the investigation is the Tiffany Henyard Foundation, with federal agents searching for records related to financial transactions exceeding $10,000. As more evidence against the mayor surfaces, this investigation has alarmed many officials in Dalton, particularly the town's trustees, though specific details remain confidential. Unverified reports suggest that FBI agents have questioned well-known citizens of Dalton, indicating that the investigation is far-reaching. Henyard's reputation has suffered for some time, largely due to a resurgence of long-standing allegations that she may have exploited her political position for personal gain. However, the involvement of federal authorities has lent credibility to these claims, despite the inquiry still being in its early stages. As the investigation unfolds, many Dalton residents are beginning to question Henyard's leadership, fearing that further revelations could emerge. This investigation has also led to a shift in local politics, as some officials who once supported Henyard are now distancing themselves from the controversy. The scandal has already taken a toll on Henyard's political career, with her public image tarnished by the ongoing allegations once hailed as a super mayor due to her efforts to revitalize Dalton. Henyard is now at the heart of a scandal that has severely clouded her leadership. Allegations under investigation include potential misappropriation of public funds for private gain, especially in relation to the hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on police overtime, which was ostensibly for her personal safety. In addition, her expensive out-of-town travel expenses have drawn attention. These claims, combined with the FBI's involvement, have raised serious questions about the integrity of her administration. A Fox 32 report indicates that the investigation is ongoing, with federal agents having questioned several prominent individuals, including the owners of a local bus company, a former village employee, and others. The investigation has reportedly taken a more serious turn, especially regarding the denial of business licenses. This has raised concerns about political influence in the licensing process, with claims that the mayor's administration may have used its power to hinder local businesses that oppose her political agenda. The possibility of political meddling, particularly in delaying business permits, is one of the most alarming aspects of the FBI's probe. Several Dalton business owners have made allegations that the mayor's administration has targeted them for political reasons. For instance, George, the owner of Chasen House, filed a formal complaint, claiming that his business license renewal was delayed because he refused to support or donate to Henyard's re-election campaign. Similarly, Boone Wood, the owner of a nearby eatery, has been trying to renew his business license for nearly a year, alleging that the delay was due to his establishment's clientele, which supports a political faction opposed to Henyard. Wood, who has connections to Dalton trustees and is a member of a state organization, believes he is being unfairly targeted for his refusal to support Henyard's re-election bid. He and other business owners have criticized the mayor's administration for unfairly penalizing those who do not align with their political views. This growing sentiment of political favoritism has further eroded public confidence in the mayor's leadership. The FBI investigation into Henyard's alleged misappropriation of public funds and her involvement in business license decisions has called into question the objectivity and integrity of her administration. The scrutiny of her actions has led local business owners, particularly those affected by license delays or other political interference, to openly challenge the fairness of Henyard's leadership. These business owners argue that the mayor's administration is prioritizing political loyalty over fair treatment and transparency, creating an environment of mistrust within the local business community. Some local officials who have long disagreed with Henyard are also voicing concerns about her leadership style and the integrity of her administration. They believe that Henyard's actions may have undermined public trust in local government and harmed Dalton's business climate. There is growing concern that her misuse of political power for personal gain, along with the potential misappropriation of public funds, has eroded the values of fairness and transparency that should guide local governance. As more revelations emerge, residents of Dalton are becoming increasingly anxious. Many are demanding greater financial transparency, accountability, and improved management of public funds. They argue that Henyard's leadership has undermined the essential principles of equity and good governance. The pressure is mounting on Kennard to address the accusations, with many residents and business owners calling for greater clarity and answers regarding the ongoing investigation. The investigation is expected to shed light on the inner workings of Kennard's administration, and many in Dalton are hoping for accountability. The mounting accusations and growing public skepticism have already cast a long shadow over her leadership as the inquiry progresses. The central question remains whether corruption has tainted Kennard's tenure as mayor, as new allegations and claims continue to surface. The demand for accountability is growing stronger. The investigation's impact extends beyond just the mayor. Business owners in Dalton who feel they have been treated unfairly are increasingly vocal about their concerns. They are calling for more transparency in how business licenses are issued and how public funds are managed. The investigation has sparked a larger debate about political interference, favoritism, and the integrity of local government, leaving many residents and business owners uncertain about the future of their community. The investigation continues. More people are expected to come forward with claims of being affected by Kennard's administration. The growing number of allegations of political meddling, delayed business licenses, and misappropriated public funds has led to greater scrutiny of the mayor's actions. The ongoing revelations have intensified the calls for transparency and accountability in Dalton's government. At the heart of this escalating scandal is the question of whether Kennard's political career can survive the fallout from the FBI's investigation. The mounting pressure from residents and business owners, combined with the increasing number of allegations, has put her leadership in jeopardy. As more information becomes available, it remains to be seen whether Kennard will be able to regain the public's trust or if her political career will be permanently damaged. In the meantime, residents of Dalton are waiting for answers. They are hoping that the investigation will provide clarity and shed light on the truth behind the allegations. As the scandal continues to unfold, the future of Kennard's administration hangs in the balance, and the community is left grappling with the uncertainty surrounding their mayor's leadership. The outcome of the investigation will undoubtedly shape the future of Dalton, with residents demanding accountability for any wrongdoing that may have taken place during Kennard's tenure as mayor.
Which said it is policy for the agency not to comment on the nature, existence, or non-existence of any investigation that may be occurring. A public relations firm responded on behalf of the mayor, saying neither Henyard or the village of Dalton have received any subpoenas or been contacted.
The residents of Dalton, Illinois, have long felt that their concerns about corruption, poor management, and a lack of accountability were ignored. After years of financial struggles, self-interest, and leadership that seemed to prioritize personal gain over the community's needs, the FBI's investigation into Mayor Tiffany Henyard's administration has given many residents hope that justice and reform might finally be within reach. Henyard administration, which some initially viewed as a transitional period, is now mired in serious accusations of embezzlement, misappropriation of public funds, and a breakdown in trust between the local government and its citizens. For years, Dalton residents have claimed that their hard-earned tax dollars were misallocated, diverted to private interests, and not invested in the community's welfare. The FBI's intervention has offered a glimmer of hope to those who have long sought a solution to the widespread corruption, signaling the potential for a new chapter in Dalton's governance, one where integrity, transparency, and accountability could take precedence over personal interests. Over the years, residents have grown disillusioned with the administration's extravagant spending, political favoritism, and neglect of essential services, such as fire department contracts. The town's infrastructure, including its roads, is in disrepair and in desperate need of attention. Dalton's leadership, according to many, has failed to meet the basic needs of the community, focusing instead on questionable political appointments and lavish expenditures. This persistent dissatisfaction has been amplified by what many believe is a systemic disregard for the welfare of the people they entrusted with leadership. However, the ongoing FBI investigation has now provided longtime critics with the justification they need to demand change. Dalton finds itself at a critical juncture, with many residents hopeful that the investigation will be the catalyst for breaking the cycle of inefficiency, favoritism, and exploitation that has plagued the community for years. The town's reputation, already suffering due to its local leaders' actions, is in urgent need of restoration. Financial stability, too, has been jeopardized by years of mismanagement, leading residents to question whether their local government has served the interests of all citizens or merely a select few. Restoring both the town's reputation and its fiscal health is one of the most pressing issues facing Dalton today. The lack of accountability and transparency under Henyard's administration has made it clear that substantial reforms are needed. Her lavish spending, including a controversial trip to Las Vegas in May of the previous year, has only fueled suspicions of corruption and abuse of power. The trip, funded with public money, has raised concerns about the misuse of taxpayer funds. As part of its investigation, the FBI is seeking documentation related to the Las Vegas trip and other records that may shed light on Henyard's actions and the activities of other figures in her administration. For the people of Dalton, the ongoing FBI investigation represents not only the possibility of legal accountability, but also a beacon of hope for restoring good governance in their community. If the investigation can uncover the truth about the alleged misconduct and lead to meaningful change, it could mark the beginning of a new era for Dalton, one where the needs of the residents are prioritized, and public officials are held to the highest standards of responsibility and integrity. The residents of Dalton, who have long felt abandoned by their leaders, now believe they have a genuine opportunity to reshape their town's future and reclaim their trust in local government. The FBI's investigation into Henyard's administration has uncovered a troubling series of allegations and instances of mismanagement that have left Dalton residents feeling increasingly betrayed. Central to the investigation are travel logs and records related to charitable foundations associated with Henyard's administration, which could provide vital information regarding her alleged financial impropriety and abuse of power. The FBI is also probing claims concerning Andrew Holmes, one of Henyard's associates, and allegations of assault and retaliation involving a former aide. These accusations suggest that Henyard may have used her position to exact revenge on those who opposed or criticized her administration. This further complicates the investigation, as it paints a concerning picture of a leader who may have prioritized her own interests over the needs of the community. In addition to these serious allegations, the inquiry has drawn attention to Henyard's controversial hiring practices, which have been widely criticized as arbitrary and politically motivated. Many Dalton residents believe that the mayor has abused her authority to reward political allies and punish those who dissent, creating an atmosphere of division and mistrust within the community. This pattern of retaliation and favoritism has eroded public trust in the leadership, leaving the town more fractured and suspicious of the administration's true intentions. The ongoing investigation is not just about holding individuals accountable for their actions. It is a crucial moment for Dalton. Many residents are now demanding reforms to ensure that their local government operates with greater transparency and accountability. The town has been burdened for years by a lack of proper management, and the allegations against Henyard's administration have exposed the deep-rooted issues that need to be addressed. While it remains uncertain whether the investigation will result in legal action, it has already sparked a wider conversation about the future of Dalton's governance. The FBI's intervention has given residents hope that, at long last, the people responsible for years of corruption and mismanagement will be held accountable. For many, this investigation is more than just about uncovering the truth. It represents an opportunity for the town to reclaim its integrity and restore public confidence in the leadership that has long been missing. As the investigation continues, Dalton's residents and business owners are anxiously awaiting the outcome. Many are hoping that the FBI's findings will not only shed light on the mayor's alleged actions, but also signal a new beginning for the town's future, one where corruption, favoritism, and mismanagement no longer have a place. If the investigation leads to real change, it could mark the start of a new chapter in Dalton's history, one where good governance, transparency, and accountability are no longer just ideals, but tangible realities. Mayor Tiffany Henyard's administration has been accused of a lack of transparency, and coupled with the FBI investigation, these accusations have only deepened doubts about her leadership and objectives. Financial instability has become a significant concern, with Dalton involved in at least 19 ongoing lawsuits in both Cook County and federal court. The town's attorney recently revealed that preparations are being made to abandon these lawsuits due to non-payment, raising serious questions about the management of public funds under Henyard's leadership and highlighting the town's worsening financial instability. This situation has fueled public anger, as residents fear that Henyard's mismanagement could lead to further economic turmoil. The mayor's refusal to allow an impartial investigation into her activities has only added to the growing suspicion surrounding her administration. Henyard's decision to veto a proposal for an independent probe into her actions is seen by many as another example of a leader putting her own interests ahead of the community's well-being. By obstructing the investigation, Henyard has been accused of trying to shield herself from scrutiny, further cementing the belief that her primary concern is protecting her own position, rather than addressing the concerns of the people she is supposed to serve. This decision has only deepened the public's mistrust, with many residents seeing it as a sign that Henner is more focused on defending her reputation than ensuring the integrity of local governance. Her refusal to resign despite the growing scandals surrounding her administration has compounded the damage to her public image, leaving Dalton residents disillusioned and frustrated. As the FBI continues to probe Henner's actions, the town finds itself at a crossroads, with the opportunity for much-needed change hanging in the balance. The investigation has revealed a significant breakdown in leadership, financial mismanagement, and a deep erosion of trust between the mayor and the residents of Dalton. The town's reputation, financial stability, and the public's confidence in local government are all at risk. The actions of Henner and her administration will likely determine whether Dalton can begin the long process of healing or remain mired in scandal and dysfunction. The arrival of the FBI has brought a measure of hope to those who have long sought justice and accountability. For years, Dalton has been plagued by corruption, poor management, and a breakdown in trust between the local government and its citizens. But the FBI's involvement has given the residents a unique opportunity to not only seek justice for past wrongs, but also to advocate for the systemic reforms the town desperately needs. The investigation has exposed deep-rooted issues within Henner's administration, including financial mismanagement, questionable political appointments, and retaliatory actions against those who dared oppose her. As a result, many Dalton residents now believe that this is the pivotal moment for the town to break free from the cycle of favoritism, corruption, and political self-interest that has defined Henner's time in office. There is a growing belief that, for the first time in years, Dalton can truly turn the page and begin the long-overdue process of reform. The FBI's investigation has become more than just a legal inquiry. It has symbolized the community's demand for change and accountability. Citizens are calling for the complete overhaul of the town's government structure, with a renewed focus on placing the needs of the people above political ambitions. Many residents are voicing their hope that Dalton has a rare opportunity to reject the poisonous legacy left by Henner and her administration, and instead build a future grounded in the principles of justice, fairness, and public service. The desire for reform is not only about addressing past abuses, but also about ensuring that such failures never happen again. There is a shared conviction among Dalton citizens that any future leadership must prioritize integrity, transparency, and accountability. The town's future must be one where the government genuinely works for all its residents, not just a select group of influential individuals. This growing movement is fueled by a collective commitment to holding those in power accountable for their actions and ensuring that Dalton's government operates with financial integrity, fairness, and openness. At its core, the stakes are incredibly high as the investigation continues. But for the first time in many years, Dalton residents are beginning to feel a sense of optimism and determination. They believe that, with the FBI's help, they can finally address the corruption and mismanagement that have plagued their community for so long and work toward creating a town where local government truly represents the people it serves. If the investigation results in the accountability they are seeking, Dalton will emerge stronger, more united, and better equipped to face future challenges. For many, the FBI's investigation represents more than just an opportunity to right the wrongs of the past. It is a chance to establish a new era of local governance, one free from political favoritism and corruption, and grounded in a deep commitment to serving the people. Residents of Dalton are now united in their pursuit of a government that works for everyone, not just the powerful few who have controlled the town for far too long. The community is anxiously awaiting the truth to come to light, hoping it will lead to a brighter future for Dalton, one where accountability is the standard, and leadership is defined by its dedication to the well-being of all its citizens. The results of the investigation will have a profound impact on Dalton's future, and the residents are resolute in their demand for justice. They are determined to ensure that the lessons learned from this period of corruption and mismanagement will pave the way for a more just, transparent, and accountable government moving forward.